Alright, this is Calibos, and this would be Enigmatica. So, when we last left our intrepid hero, which would totally be me still, maybe, I guess, um, we were doing Britannia, which, you know, at least I can get through Britannia. So, we have these. This would be a mana spreader, it moves mana, and we have a mana pool. Now we actually need a source of mana. In all of my wanderings, I did not actually find a primal flower, which would have been really cool. So let's look at Endoflames. Not Endor. I would like mana to be Ewok powered, but it is not. So, red mushroom, light gray mushroom, 2 browns. Also translates to light gray, red, inventory. Let's do this again. So many things. And 2 brown. Now you'll notice that I got one of each flower, which gives me the extra petals. So the reason for this is, I'll need some, I'm actually planning on making extras. So we'll do this, we'll do that, and we'll go, alright, and we'll do this, and then we'll do it again. If I had an empty hand, we could simply right-click it, but I don't, so we'll do this. Again. Oh. Let's get some redstone really quick, and some iron, and some stuff. So we'll do this. All will be made clear, probably, someday. So, just remember, I'm highly lazy, and I hate doing things for myself when I can have other things do it for me. So, I have a plan for some of these, actually. I don't see anything else there that I need. Let's go up here. Grab some iron. Oh, that's handy. I was actually thinking of making one of those. We'll grab some of this, because who doesn't need it? We can actually take this. See, I'd theorized that I might have some here, but I hadn't really gone through the effort of checking. I mean, I might even have the peony here, which would negate some of this work. That would be kind of annoying at this point. Just take that. You know, I'm not seeing it. And we really have everything that we need, mostly. That's a lilac. That's an allium. I was hoping. Lime flower. Blue. I guess it's not vastly important. You know, I hate getting sidetracked because it's really challenging for me personally to get back into something once I have been sidetracked. That's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're just going to do this. Did uh, so I can't remember if I was recording when I got the cats. Maybe not. So I was looking for... Did I describe this already? I don't know. Maybe I did. See, one of the difficulties with this is the Britannia setup actually requires quite a lot of space. So I have concerns that there might not be enough space at just this place to do it. But I guess we can always move it. So, yeah. I also don't want it to be a place that the guards are going to just randomly walk through. But again, I guess we can sort that out. So right off the bat, we'll need these. We'll also need some of that. So let me give you a brief explanation of how this works. Again, I'm not happy about the location. Yeah, I don't know. This is me being indecisive. Sadly, you'll just have to deal with it, because that's how I am. Anyway. So, if we put the endo flames here, ta-da, endo flames. And then we do... So we just gotta have a mana spreader nearby. So we'll go up 3. We'll just go up 2, actually. Put the mana spreader. Put a pool. So now if we take our wand and we do this. So what I did was I shift right clicked to select the flower, and then I shift right clicked again to set that. Now you'll see they have the little mana spreader symbol has a check mark. And then I can do the same thing with that. And that is how I aimed it. So whenever I give these guys coal, they will immediately pick it up. And you saw the burst, and now there's mana in the pool. So that's the simplest way to create mana. I think there used to be days. Yeah, so there used to be a stage before this, but I have the understanding that the mod maker, I got very frustrated with the fact that they would just make excessive, numbers of the passive flowers. And they wouldn't really go into any of the other things. Because when you have a server, the time really isn't a factor anymore. And even when you're on a single player world, you can just chunk load it and leave it going. So it doesn't really matter quite as much at that point. But anyway, back to me being lazy. So let me show you a neat thing. So this is a very simple redstone interaction. If I stand on this pressure plate, it gives power to the block, which turns off the torch. If I'm not on the pressure plate, there's no power to the block, the torch is on. This is the very simplest interaction. I mean, the simplest state is just a torch or a block that provides power. Now, this is a wood pressure plate, which means if it's on there, an item can set it off. So that's a helpful trick. Now, keep in mind that when this torch is lit, it's providing power to this block. Still with me? Then we go ahead and say, put a torch on this block, and that's a demonstration of power, right? So if I stand on this, it unpowers the torch underneath, which lets this one power itself up. That is the basis of our interaction here. So, as far as I'm aware, there are very limited uses for living wood planks. I'm not sure why this is, but so it is. One of them is the coolest thing in the history of the world, the open crate. I'd actually forgotten that there was a quest. Open crate. We'll take the third one. So, if we... I don't parkour very well. So if we place a block there, since we want the open crate to drop blocks on this chest, we'll do that. Now, you probably already figured out where we're going with this. So one of the cool things about hoppers is if you provide a redstone signal to a hopper, it stops working. So if anything is sitting on this, that gets a signal and the hopper stops working. Here's the upshot. It keeps exactly 2 charcoal on there all the time, which means as long as there's anything in that hopper, these are always going to work. Now, if you want to be even more complicated about this, you can actually put a, what are they called? Not a repeater, a comparator coming off of this mana pool, so that when the mana pool is set to a certain level based on, however you wanted to arrange it, you could have it turn the torch off, turn the hopper off. It's not terribly complicated. I honestly don't expect there to be very many reasons for me to use it in this setup. This setup is just here for the purposes of getting me to some things. I've actually got mana steel. I picked it up in a quest. Come on, give me the thing. Or chest or something like that. Hollow projector. Didn't I already have one of those? Overclock upgrades. Hollow projector. So the entire purpose of this is just for mana. Now, just because it drops 2 charcoal at a time doesn't mean that this setup is limited to 2 endo flames. This setup will actually feed I think it's like 15 if you can keep up with the coal use. Honestly, once you get over 6, it actually works out fairly well to use coal blocks because something will always be pulling it before the 5 minute the 5 minute expiration. As far as hold on, sorry about that. So there's basically a 5 minute timer on floating independent blocks, items, whatever you want to call them, and then they discorporate, they go away. So yeah, that. But back to our original purpose. So we want a peony. Now we actually will need to make an alchemy catalyst too, which requires 2 brewing stands, a mana pearl, 2 gold ingots, and some living rock. So we already know about the living rock. That's going to be pretty easy. So you may or may not be familiar with brewing stands. It's cobblestone and blaze rods. Conveniently, I happen to be carrying those. I know it seems like, it would be a coincidence, but it is not. Ta-da! Oh, we even get blaze powder. Nice. I actually... wait a minute. You mean I had a... Oh, man. Maybe I junked it. Because according to this quest, I actually had one somewhere. Because I have to admit, for the most part, I consider flowers to be kind of silly and pointless. I have 6. Right here. I'm quite beside myself. Let's continue with this experiment. Just so that I can finish the task. So I don't know that there's quite enough mana in here for a mana pool yet. Or a mana pearl. Oops. So it's just a matter of dropping it in, and then it converts, and then you're good. So that is an alchemy catalyst. Now, if you look at the bottom, there's no markings in it. But if I remove this, and just a word to the wise, if you do break the pool, all the mana in it is lost. Now, if you look in the bottom, there you can see the patterns. That's how you know which kind is in there. I have to admit, I'm still rather cross that I had this and stuff. So we don't need to make this conversion now, but we can. Ta-da. I'm actually just curious to see if it goes all the way around. I mean, I suppose it must, right? I know. I'm wasting time and mana. White, pink. Does this give me sunflowers? It does. So that actually completes this quest. Sure. So yeah, there we go. So Botania potions, really great. So see the 6 next to the name? that's how many uses it has. So this thing, pretty slick actually. Like I said, I got a Man of Steel from a quest earlier. Looks like I got a bunch of things I'm just carrying around randomly, like iron, bone, and stuff. Oh my gosh. I emptied my inventory, I swear, and it is full and stuff. So we can pretty much just leave that going. It's not going to fill very rapidly. And I'm not necessarily worried about running out of charcoal, because we have so much wood. So much wood. There are other kinds of mana generation things in Botania, and like the mana tablet, it's basically a battery. And the band of mana it's another battery. It's just a battery that you wear. The runic altar is central to Botania, and we'll discuss that later. So let us go back to roots. I think we were making Pereskia blossoms. And I think that this can go away, and this can go away. That, and this, and this, 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 that, that, and that. Oh my gosh. That can come out. This can come out. This can come out. I know. I just need to have an empty inventory. These can stay. Actually, I need those. If it's a tool, it's staying with me. I know. I'm a tool. At least I don't have to worry about cleaning up after myself, because I can just dump all the stuff here. Yep. It's okay. These people will totally clean up after me, probably. Baked. This can come out. This can come out. That can come out. That. I don't even know about that, so it can come out. I'm sure that they'll all do fancy things with these. Like stuff and things, I guess. I know, this is a terrible thing. I'm just throwing stuff on the ground and expecting somebody to clean up after me. That. We're so gonna do the flamethrower because I want to see that. I do. Manual, that stays. Okay, I think that's actually mostly everything. Toss that, toss that, toss that. One of the benefits to this spot, as far as throwing stuff on the ground, is a lot of people pass through it as far as mine colonies, and they'll pick it all up and take it away. So, books. There are probably books in here. Okay. Herb lore. So now we need this, which is 3 dandelions and oxeye daisy. 1, 2, 3. Oxeye daisy is one of those. So let us go to our circle. Oh, right, because the area hasn't been spawned. So, as I recall, it's oxeye daisy. One of those, I think it worked out to be here, here, there. Ah, yeah. Get the magic. Boom. So that gives us another one. We're making progress. Teleport home, Pereskia. So we'll turn in the quest, and it gives us a bunch of extra ones. So we're going to plant that here. I think I saw another worm over here. So, if we look at the quest book, there's aubergine, which sounds familiar. I don't know. It does sound familiar. Let's do this. So, let's see what we need for aubergine. Ideally, I would wish that I had the setup for storage for each mod. So this one requires 3 spruce, a lilac, and a beetroot. I must have a lilac because I had a quest for it, and I'm sure that I saw them everywhere. I think there's actually one in the storage. Go check in a second. Flower. So we'll pick up the other Botania flower that's in there. We'll at least have Botania mostly in the same spot. But yeah, like I said, I don't remember if I explained the cats. So off that way, it actually changes to rainforest or something like that. Orchid. I wish that it stacked. And, I mean, we're not even talking that far. They were getting stuck on my walkways over there. Like, it's the same hill, just transitions into rainforest. I was looking for the peonies at the time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's ocelots here. And then I pretty much completely failed on lilac. On I have beetroots? I don't actually think that I have beetroots. Like, I think I've seen them around, but I've never bothered to pick them up. So, much like real cats, you can't chase them. If they're doing the running animation, even if they're trapped, you can't tame them. You must hold some fish in your hands and wait for them to come to you. And then you can tame them, maybe. It's not guaranteed. So let's check upstairs. If not, I think I know where to look. So, with the pictures on the front, the item frames, I do believe that you can actually filter what goes into each chest. Like, if I had carrots on the front of on one of these, only carrots would make its way into the chest. Oh wow, so there have been a lot more balls of fur. So, this is a thing added by actually additions, and it's the coolest thing. So, let's check the inventory really quick. I'm not sure. So, gravel, leather, salmon, leather. But yeah, each ball of fur is basically like a one item loot chest, which makes it annoying and funny all at the same time. I do believe it only gives you vanilla items. So, you know, it's not crazy, but still pretty cool. So let's sleep really quick, and then I know just where to go to check for whatchamacallits. Got a lot of these. Kind of hoping that I was smart enough to bring one. I was. Take some bone meal. We no longer need that to be searching. Alright. So let's go to the circle. And we'll look at our book. So beet in the middle, lilac on one side, and the rest are spruce. So beetroot. Let's give this lilac, spruce, oatmeal. Oops. Remember, it has to be an adult plant. So, lilac, there, there, and there. And that gives us our aubergine, which is really weird and looks kind of like eggplant. Eggplant. So we'll turn in our quest, get the last one. I have to say, this doesn't seem like it's taking us too far into this. Like, so if I look at, oh, wrong button. So if I look at the Botania quests, I don't know if Fruits is just a smaller mod. It seems like it might be. Rod of the Seas. Okay, so it does actually want you to do the end bosses for this. And I think that Roots may simply not go that far. Offering to the Fairies, Book of Natural Arts. Okay, but we will plant some of this stuff, and we will take care of it next time. So, the plan is basically, we're going to see how much I need. These are not going to be permanent gardens for these plants. It's just to give me a good supply while we're doing the mod. And then we'll see if we want to continue making use of the mod later as we go. In which case I will set aside a special area for it. Maybe I'll even decorate it, but don't get your hopes up. That's not really how I roll. But we have completed a couple of different tasks here. I feel that we've made some good progress, and this is a great place to call it. Seeing as we're nearly at 40 minutes, 7 minutes over where I said I was going to stop it. So, if you liked it, leave a like. If you don't. Simple as that. If you see a thing I'm doing wrong, have a suggestion or a helpful hint, then that would be a useful addition to the comment section. I assure you that I do check for comments, and I'll probably even respond. So, thanks for coming. You folks have a good night.